All right. Well, thank you all very, very much for coming this evening. This is the first State of the City event that we've had in a number of years, and we want to continue this tradition this year and on into the next several. Make sure we update our community, one, about our accomplishments, but also to let everybody know what's coming next. So tonight, our theme for the evening is charting the course, as you can see there, and I keep holding up the clicker even though they told me not to. So it's Bluetooth, so I can just hold it down here. So this is our expedition this evening, just a short presentation. We'll have about 35 minutes of the mayor and I talking, and then we will return back out to the hallway out there, and there is definitely more food, so please take advantage of that. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to the mayor to read a letter from Congresswoman Del Bene.
Thank you. To the community of Mountlake Terrace, please accept my warm wishes for today's State of the City. While I am regretfully unable to attend today's event, I join you in celebrating the city's hard work over the past year. This includes the significant work being undertaken to support transit-oriented development in the reimagining of Mountlake Terrace's vibrant town center through the Main Street revitalization projects. In March of this year, I secured $850,000 in federal community project funding, CPF, to support Phase 2 of Main Street in the heart of downtown. This project will assist in the redevelopment of 56th Avenue West between 236th and 230th Street Southwest and improve safety for pedestrians and cyclists as Sound Transit officially opens the next phase of Link Light Rail later this year. I look forward to continuing to support and work alongside the City of Mountlake Terrace to help this thriving community achieve these major milestones and goals in the months and years to come. Warmest regards, Susan K. Del Bene, Member of Congress, Washington 01.
So I did want to take a few minutes to recognize our city council and Mayor Matsumoto Wright, just introduced, but also Mayor Pro Tem Wall and council members Laura Sonmore, Rick Ryan, Dr. Stephen Woodard, Aaron Murray, and Rory Payne Donovan. Thank you. We also have several visitors here tonight from U.S. Senator Patty Murray's office. We have Hayden Jenkins. And State Representative Davis is also joining us tonight as well. And other elected officials, we have Mayor Frizzell from Linwood. And Deputy Mayor Laura Monk from Shoreline. Thank you for being here. So wanted to share council's goals for this evening. These are the adopted council goals, and we'll be highlighting several of these for you throughout the presentation this evening. But I just wanted to give a minute to share all of those with you. And then on to our program. So the council goals and priorities have been shaping the vision of Mountlake Terrace for years, and the vision is starting to become a reality. The Vibrant Town Center, the Main Street revitalization program that we've been focused on for so long, along with transit-oriented development and the opening of light rail on August 30th. We also have very valuable partnerships with our state, federal, and local partners, and those are very important to us. We're very proud of those. So like many of you, we are working on our comprehensive plan for Vision 2044. A lot of work goes into that, and it would not be possible without a group of committed citizen volunteers who are members of our Comprehensive Plan Advisory Committee. They provide us with invaluable insight into what the future of Mountlake Terrace is going to be 20 years from now. We also have some exciting developments coming as part of our new town center, and we'll share those with you a little bit later in the program. So several of the elements that we are working on include, as I mentioned, transit-oriented development, but also our aging utilities infrastructure. And that's a problem for many communities, but we're addressing those through comprehensive utility planning programs, which are undertaken as part of the comprehensive plan, so everything meshes together. It provides for a more seamless framework and guideway for us to make investments for our community for years to come. We're also doing rate studies, which I know everybody is very excited about, but we're taking into account the sensitivity on those rates for our customers and for our residents, and to make sure that they're predictable, which I think is probably the most important thing, more than just about anything else. A next key component of what we have been working on and will continue to work on is our economic vitality. So last year, the council commissioned work for an economic development strategic plan, and that's going to dovetail with the element of the comprehensive plan, which is the economic development element, to ensure that we're all pulling in the same direction and making the same investments at the same time for the right reasons for our community. The other component of that is the long-range financial sustainability task force. So that right now we're very lucky to have strong financial performance as part of the city. But we know in the years to come that that's not necessarily going to be the case. So it's important for the city to be proactive to address those issues now before it becomes a crisis. And that's what we're in the middle of doing and taking steps to make sure that we address those problems or address those issues before they become problems. So, light rail brings transformation. I think we all are acutely aware of that. But revenue service, as I mentioned earlier, starts August 30th. And what I'm excited about, and I think a lot of people are, is we can get to SeaTac in under an hour. And that I can't wait for, without the stress of driving. That's going to be fantastic. The other part of that is eventually that light rail service will connect to Everett and to Painfield. So we're looking forward to that as well. So as a component of a livable community, which our council is focused on ensuring that we create a livable community for all, is urban forestry and open space. So earlier this year, the council passed a new tree code, which implements best practices to protect our tree canopy in the city of Mountlake Terrace for years to come. Excuse me. Another component of that that's upcoming is a full urban forestry program for the city, along with a street tree inventory. Both of those projects are fully grant funded, and that's something we're very proud of. Another part is creating a premier workplace. So it's important for us that all of the team members that we have here in Mountlake Terrace all feel like part of one team, but have the ability to take ownership in the projects that they work on. Some of the things we've implemented recently include opportunities for remote work and hybrid work, alternative work schedules, all those types of things, so we can attract the best and brightest talent to work for the community here in Mountlake Terrace. And we think we've made significant strides, and we're going to continue to work on that in the years to come. So one of the council's goals is for a safe and welcoming community. And you can see some of the bullet points there, and we'll go through each of those here in the slides to come. So the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Commission is an important piece, and it provides advice to not only the city council, but also the city team. So they've become much more active over the last year or so, and are involved in regional partnerships because this is more of a regional issue. We're very happy to see some of the suggestions that they've made to the city team, and they've also participated and helped set up a training program for our city team so that we can weave DEI principles throughout the work that we do for the community. We are also working on a strategic plan for the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Commission that will guide their work and our work for the years to come. So very excited about that. Let's see here, accessibility. So the picture you see there is something that I'm personally very proud of, and I know our Parks Department as well as the whole city team is the Hazel Miller Universally Accessible Playground. Accessibility is incredibly important so that people can participate in their local government, but also enjoy the amenities that their local government provides. The other components of the accessibility program include language access, so we can include all members of our community in the decision-making process and to enjoy the amenities that the city provides. Sidewalks is also another component of accessibility to make sure everyone can get around safely throughout our community. So we're working on all of those programs as we speak. Another piece of a safe and welcoming community is our arts, culture, and events that we provide here in the city. So Mountlake Terrace has long been known for popular events like Tour de Terrace and National Night Out. Recently, well, several years ago, we also implemented the 3rd of July program. Very happy to report that last year on the 3rd of July, we had more than 7,000 people come and watch the show. And that's an amazing accomplishment, something that was a lot of fun, and we can't wait to do it again this year and in the years to come. Let's see, we have lots more ahead with a Terrace Summer Nights program, which I'll talk a little bit more here in a few minutes. For the recreation opportunities, many people in the region are familiar with our pavilion. A lot of people learn to swim here and enjoy the pool here. One of the things that the council did to prioritize access for the community is providing American Rescue Plan Act dollars for scholarships for those folks in our community so everybody can take advantage of that amenity. And we had a partnership, a great partnership with Verdant, who provided grant dollars for swim lessons for kids in our community so they can be safe in the water. Looking forward to addressing the pavilion in the years to come and how that would work, and continue to provide those services for the next coming decades. So police staffing and recruitment, something that I'm also very proud of and credit a lot to our police department and our police department leadership, is that all of our budgeted positions in our police department are filled. There's not a lot of communities that are able to say that, but we are very lucky here in Mountlake Terrace that all of our positions are filled, but also that we are recruiting so that we can reflect the community that we serve. And I think that's also very important. A big piece of this as well is expanding language capacity. So multiple officers in our police department speak multiple languages, and one even speaks 6. Not something that I'm going to try to do, but very happy for that officer and for our police department and our community. As part of our efforts to create a safe and welcoming community, the downtown revitalization program, as well as the sidewalks I talked about a little bit earlier, to ensure that all users of our transportation network feel safe and when they're using that network, whether they're on a bicycle or on the sidewalk. Some places in our community don't necessarily have sidewalks at the moment, but that's something that we're looking to correct in the near term. And there's a lot of work that goes into that. Capital projects are not inexpensive. So again, those partnerships with our state and federal partners and other local partners are incredibly valuable when we're creating these for the wider region. Another pillar of the council goals for our city council is being a responsible government and using the dollars that we're entrusted with to provide those services that are important to our community. So a couple of things here, building team and capacity. We want to be able to provide those services when the community expects them and how the community expects them. Providing those training policies and procedures and software improvements to make it easier and seamless to interact with municipal government. As far as, oops, one too far. As far as what we're doing for software and service improvements, we commissioned recently an information technology strategic plan that will be presented to the council in a couple weeks that will guide our investments and making sure we serve the community in the best way that we can. Also, we've implemented a new utility billing portal, which should make the way that most people interact with their local government more seamless and easier once the initial setup is passed. And then we also have a new front door for the Mountlake Terrace community, our new homepage, which is redesigned to make things easier to find and make us easier to find as individuals within the city government. So a couple things. This is an aerial shot of the Hazel Miller Accessible Playground. This is something, it is important to me just because I think anybody, no matter what their ability level, should be able to enjoy a park in their community and enjoy playing outdoors. So great partnership with the Hazel Miller Foundation to complete this project. The Matt Hervela Bicentennial Park Playground, this trail that you can see in the photograph and the playground in the lower part of it, all volunteer driven over the last 10 years. So this is something that was just completed in 2023, the last section of trail, and the playground itself, it was a 10-year effort made by a group of dedicated volunteers to make this happen and create this long-lasting amenity for our community well into the future. A few other mentions here. Last year, the city voters of Mountlake Terrace voted to annex into the Regional Fire Authority with South County Fire, and that's been a fantastic partnership for us, providing those services and continuing to provide those services that South County Fire has for so long in Mountlake Terrace. It was effective as of January 1 of this year, and so far, 5 months into the year, it's going incredibly well, and we couldn't expect anything more. And lastly, for me anyway, talking about expanding events. So last year we had 6 events during the summer. We had the large ones that many of you know, the 3rd of July event, the Tour de Terrace, the National Night Out, and then we also added 3 movies in the park events. That's the Sandlot playing on the screen there. A lot of community members able to enjoy it. This year we're going to produce 16 events. So we're expanding pretty significantly and not only adding or continuing with the Movies in the Park program, but also adding music in the park, which I'm really looking forward to. Music outside in the summer is, that and baseball games is one of the joys in life. And with that, I would like to turn it over to our mayor to talk about what's next.
Well, first I want to just say welcome, everybody. So, did we already see the video, or is it going to start now? All right, we have a video here, and that is our Hall Creek restoration. And when it was a golf course, Hall Creek was one line because they wanted a golf course, not a creek. So we had the Army Corps of Engineers, and it was their very, very first project of this kind. And they picked Mountlake Terrace to do it in. And so what they did was they meandered that creek once again, and eventually we're going to get salmon coming back. So that is Halls Creek, and next is Veterans Park. So transit connections, Veterans Park. What we're going to have, and Veterans Park is right over there. And what we're going to do is to have a connection, a paved and lighted rail connecting light rail, trails connecting light rail, the park and civic campus with amenities and signage. So you're going to be able to walk from the town center area to the light rail station through our Veterans Park on an ADA pathway, and it's going to be lighted. So we have a lot of things going on here that we're looking forward to. And then at the upper plateau of the Veterans Park, we're going to put in a new playground, a picnic shelter, restrooms, and a Veterans Memorial. Because it is called Veterans Park, and Mountlake Terrace was built for the veterans of the Korean conflict in 1954. All of the buildings at that time, most of them were sold to veterans. So this is our history. The veterans are our history. Then, when you come in to Mountlake Terrace on the light rail, you can look down and you're going to see a 4,000 teeny little square foot park. But you're going to have a huge art piece there. And then you're going to have a bench, and this is going to be right at the corner of Van Rye Boulevard and 236, and it's going to be a gateway to the city. with this artwork, a place to just sit and relax and wave to the people on the train as they pass by. So next is Evergreen Playfield. And Evergreen Playfield, if you don't know where that is where Tour de Terrace takes place. And so we're going to start construction after the summer because Andrew is doing such a great job putting together all of these events all through the summer, so we can't start until that's done. So the renovations that are coming, we're going to get another synthetic turf infield. We're going to get new fencing and LED lights. We're going to get a resurfaced tennis court because we need to provide for pickleball players. Then we're going to replace the spectator area to replace the bleachers, because if you've been on those bleachers, you know that they needed to be replaced. And we're finally going to do that. And then we're going to have so when you go to the old tree lighting ceremony at the old park, you went to the concession stand. And that was kind of falling apart, huh, Judy? Because she worked at a concession stand for 30-some years. And we're going to finally get a new building, and a building, concession stand, and restrooms. My God, we've been needing those restrooms, especially during Tour de Terrace. Yeah. Then next is safe routes to school. And this corner is very dear to me because it's by my house, and it is a safe route to both Mountlake Terrace Elementary and Mountlake Terrace High School. And what we're going to do is we're going to make all four corners into an intersection with new crosswalks and pedestrian beacons and upgraded utilities. And it was only supposed to be on the four corners, and then I noticed that there's a little segment of sidewalk that ends and then begins over here. And I thought, why? Why would we have a section that is not going to be completely done? And so we got enough money now to do all of it. So if you're walking now, and I walk that many, many times throughout the year, you don't have to cross the street for the sidewalk and then go across the street for the other sidewalk. Everything's going to be there. Okay, the next is the 66th Street reconstruction, which is happening right now, and I know that it is a lot of detours for the people of the city, but wait till it's done. It's going to be wonderful. And then, so what it's going to do is going to provide an alternative transportation option with bike lanes so that everyone can get to where they need to go safely and efficiently. And so you can see where the bike lanes are going to get added, the sidewalks are going to be bigger, and then the flow of the traffic will be better. Now we get to Main Street. Main Street Phase 2 is crucial for our future success. We're going to have 7,000 new residents, and we need a home for them for now and the years to come. So we're looking at Atlas 236, and we're looking north on 56, and the upper left-hand part of this photo is across the street. And this is Main Street 2. Main Street 1 is 236 between the light rail station and 56, right on 236. And Phase 2 is going to just continue on north from 56 and 236 all the way to 230th. This is what Congressman Del Bene was talking about, helping us with the financing. And then we're going to be getting some new buildings here because we need to have housing for the people who are going to be moving here. And the more housing you have, the more affordable it will hopefully become. We can't do everything all at once. So we have 3 places coming. The very top one, the top star that you see up there, is the old Rogers Market parking lot. And that's going to be called Mountlake Village. The other one right next to the light rail station is Candela, and then the one on the very bottom is Terrace Station 4. And that's Terrace Station Building number 4. The three buildings 1, 2, and 3 are already done and 90% occupied, supposedly. That's what I heard. But then I did go and look at it, and they did say it was really, truly almost 90%. Okay, so that is Mountlake Village. That's the one that's going to be in the Rogers Market parking lot. It's going to have 323 new living spaces and nearly 6,000 square feet of service and retail opportunities. And then next is Candela. That's the one that's going to be next to the light rail station, just north of 236. And it's going to have 425 new living spaces and over 5,000 square feet of service and retail opportunities. And the person in charge of all of that is sitting in the audience. And then Terrace Station 4, which is just going to be on the south side of 236 across from Candela. And it's going to have 174 new living spaces and over 8,000 square feet of service and retail opportunities. So add that up, and we have a lot of apartments coming in. I'd love to see condos coming in later. So I want to just thank you all for coming tonight. Just to give you a little background, in 2003, I was appointed to the Planning Commission here in Mountlake Terrace. And on my very, very first meeting, we looked at a map, and I had no clue that what I was working on at that time was the very, very beginning of Town Center. And Brian was there at that time, right, sitting probably right next to me. And then in 2008, I was appointed to the City Council, where we really, really worked on this Town Center plan again. We revised it several times. And then so this is a 20-year process for me. Things have changed in Mountlake Terrace. People have changed. A lot of new people have moved in. And just lost my train of thought. So now we're looking forward to the next 20 years. But I just also want to mention that when we first started, light rail was we were just talking about light rail. We didn't really know where it was going to go and so on and so forth. And light rail was just a dream. And my God, it's going to open this year in just a few months. And it seems like 20 years ago was so long ago, and yet light rail is here. So the next 20 years, that could probably come in just like a blink of an eye. So I just want to thank you all again for coming this evening and listening to what we had to say about what we're going to be doing here in the city of Mountlake Terrace. And don't forget to eat.
So I did want to recognize and mention all the people that are listed on the screen there who helped put this together. This was first one we've done in a long time. Now we have a template, but when we were putting this together, we did not. So all of these folks here at the city worked incredibly hard to produce this event, and we're thankful for them. And lastly, we're going to show you a short video. I promise it's only like 3 minutes, and then you can get back to the food. But with that, I'd like to get the video started, and we can watch that really quick. Thank you all very much for coming.